Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome to episode 1 of the Ottawa Senators franchise mode. My name is Kyle. Welcome to my channel. This is the first video here. I love playing franchise mode on my own time. I also love watching franchise mode on YouTube myself. So hopefully if you're watching this, you enjoy it as much as I do. And I look forward to taking you guys along as I try to win the Senators their first cup. So yeah, let's get into it. I will set all of this stuff up and then I'll see you guys when we take a look at the team. All right, so here we go. Take a look at the guys that we got and the guys that we have coming up. Ottawa's kind of an interesting team because they have a pretty decent team right now. Obviously, you have Brady and Tim, who are the guys that we're going to try to build around, Sanderson as well. And then we also have Allmark, obviously, who we've got signed long term. He just signed that extension in real life this year, so we've got him until he's, I think, 36 there. He probably will start to drop off, but no clause in that contract, so that'll be movable if he does start to drop. But other than that, we only really have one big prospect, and that's Carter Yakimchuk. Where is he at? Yeah, here he is. So he's probably 2 years away. Looking pretty good, especially offensively. That shot is already hard. He's got pretty good speed, and the defense is decent for a 73 especially. Those will be pretty good. So he'll be our guy looking to grow going forward. But other than him, we'll take a look at goalies as well. No one there. And then other defensemen, not really anyone. Thompson here. He's already 23, but he could be decent. These other guys are, kind of fringe guys, bottom six guys. And then forwards, it's kind of the same story. Not a ton. Borgo here, 21, 75. He could be decent. Boucher, yeah, 21. But other than that, again, not a ton here. So then the main roster, we'll just go to the lines themselves because we'll have the guys that we're going to be playing. Again, not a decently bad team. Like I said, the top six is pretty solid. This first line will be really good for this year at least. I don't know how much longer Giroux is going to play. He is a UFA at the end of this season, so we'll see what ends up with that contract, but he's got a no movement clause, so unless we're really pushing and we want to try and get him to waive that to get a big piece for that first line, which I don't think we'll do year one. We'll just see what happens with him. But then Timmy Stu and Brady, those are our core, our guys for the future. They have a couple good seasons with them. They'll be 90 plus, so that's solid. And then we have Norris and Batherson as well, who are pretty solid guys. They'll be good for that second line. Perron, also a good second liner. A little old, again, he could retire for sure. But for right now, the top six is pretty solid. And then the third line, Ridley Gregg and Shane Pinto are really solid down there on the third line. They could grow more as well with that top six medium. So pretty happy with them. We definitely would want another third line guy because Amadio is not really that dude on the third line. And then the fourth line is a little bit weak, but if we get a third line guy, move Amadio down to the fourth line, then that's pretty good there. And then defensively, we have our two guys here, Chabot, Sanderson. We're going to move Sanderson to the first pair because we want him to grow. He's got that medium elite, still only 22. So he's going to be our guy on defense for the future. And we have him locked up, long-term, $8 million for 8 years, which is awesome. Chabot's kind of the same story contract-wise. Obviously a little bit older, and if he's playing on that second pair, then that's not ideal, but he's a really good second pair guy, but maybe just not for $8 million. So again, we'll see what happens with him. If we need to move some things around, we have very little cap space So he might be the first guy that we're looking to dump, but again, we'll see how the season goes. And he does have a modified no trade clause, so there are options to move him. The rest of the guys here are pretty decent. Bernard Docker could grow to that top 4 guy, 82, 83 maybe. He's got a couple more years. Zub is not bad. He would be better, obviously, as a second pair guy, but for the first pair, he'll make do. And then Nick Jensen is a solid bottom pair guy. Cleven's a little low on that left side, but he's kind of the best guy we have. And again, he could grow with that top 6 medium. If he could get up to 78, 79, 80, then that's pretty good there. So yeah, that's the team there. The goal is to make the playoffs this year. I think we can do it. This team, again, is not bad. We have that really good top 6. We've got 2 good defensemen, and the defense is obviously not terrible. The rest of the team is pretty good as well. And we've got an elite goalie. So that's the plan. And I will do all of the season goals, set up the scouts and all of that, and I will come back at the start of the season. Okay, so I've gone a little bit forward a few days just to get some new scouts signed, but they are all in place. All of our season goals have been set. The lineup is set, so we are ready to get into it. With the scouting, I'm just going to have it on auto. I've got them all where I want them to be region-wise, but I'm not going to do the specific scouting method to get all the guys scouted, top 200, whatever. I just found in previous franchise modes it was like too easy to get exactly who I wanted. You can find medium elites, in every round, and you know exactly who they are. Especially with goalies, I was getting 4 or 5 medium elites per draft, and then you just cycle through them, and it just made it too easy. So I want to give myself a little bit of a challenge here. But yeah, anyway, the lineup is set. We are ready to go. Goals for the season: make the playoffs. I think we can do that with this team. A couple guys that are making a little bit much for their role. We'll keep an eye on them to see how they perform. Them being Josh Norris, who is making 7.95 for the next 6 years. He could obviously grow. He's got 1 more year left of growth. If he has a good season, he could grow into first line forward potentially, and he could be our replacement for Claude Giroux. But likely it looks like Batherson would be the replacement for Giroux, just because he's more of a shooter, and Timmy and Brady are more passers. So an eye on Josh Norris. And then on defense, Nick Jensen is making $4 million, which is a bit much for third pair D-man. So we'll keep an eye on him and Norris because our cap space is very tight. But we'll just go month by month and see how things go here. So we'll get through the preseason here. And we finished the preseason 3-2-2, which is, whatever. But yeah, let's get into the regular season here, month by month. That's how I usually like to do it. And just kind of check in after every month, see where we are in the standings overall, goals for, goals against, power play, penalty kill, all that. And then see who is producing. Stat-wise, not off to a great start with only 1 win. Yeah, really not a great start here. There's a win against Vegas, who's a good team. Loss against Colorado, and we lose against St. Louis to end the month. So 2-6-1 in the first month. We are last in the Atlantic. Last in the league, actually. So not great. But it's only the first month. That's okay. Penalty kill is actually pretty decent. Top half of the league, but everything else is near the bottom. Josh Norris is our leading scorer. Yeah, not looking great. He heard me talking about his contract clearly. +3, 5 goals in 9 games. That's nice. But he is shooting nearly 28%, so that will likely come down. Giroux's been good, but -4. Batherson, Perron, Tim and Brady not doing great, and Sanderson and Chabot are nowhere to be found, which is unfortunate. Allmark is actually not terrible. Forsberg not great as the backup. So not that good to start this season, but again, just the first month. Let's see how we go into the second. Hopefully we can bounce back a tiny bit here. At least go 500. Starting off against the Rangers with a win. Back-to-back against Seattle, we get the win. Buffalo loss. Islanders win in overtime. Boston loss against Toronto. A loss again. So 2 losses against divisional rivals. Not great. Philly a loss. Carolina we win. Edmonton win in overtime. Vegas again. We beat them again. So we've got Vegas's number this year at least. Big loss against the Canucks. Loss against Calgary. I'm not going to accept this trade just because it's only a few late round picks, and Jensen is still definitely a serviceable defenseman. We don't need to move him right this second. We do lose against San Jose there. 5 goals against once again. And a loss against the Kings. So through 2 months, we are 8-14-1. That does keep us, we're actually tied with the Habs for last in the Atlantic. Probably have more regulation and overtime wins than they do. But 17 points does put us pretty much dead last in the league. So we might have to pivot a tiny bit. The power play has increased to 13th in the league, 16.9%. Still not great, but maybe the league as a whole is down. The penalty kill has plummeted, however, and goals for, goals against, pretty stagnant as well. But let's check in on the stats here after month 2. Claude Giroux has taken the spot. So yeah, he's doing well. Josh Norris still doing well. Shooting percentage has come down a tiny bit, but still holding pretty solid. 10 goals in 20 games is great. But our top line guys really not doing it. Tim and Brady, on pace for 40 points, -5. Batherson's a -10, with only 9% shooting. And Sanderson, 5 points and a -13. Ay. So yeah, the playoffs might be a long shot actually. Forsberg has improved a little bit. Actually, save percentage has, but goals against has come down. And then Allmark's about the same. So just kind of a bad team, and we might be a bad team this year, which is unfortunate. But since we are after 2 months here, let's try and work on some chemistry. I always forget everybody, but let's just try and go through. So none of these guys like Travis Green at all. Giroux's going to be hard to change, but hopefully Tim and Brady are young enough so that we can, sway them a little bit. We do have convincing, so let's see. And he does not want to change his line fit. The top line's okay because they have all those X factors, so they are at a +3. But, they're still performing pretty poorly, so a little bit more could possibly help them. Timmy's convincing as well, and he does want to change, so that's great. So he will improve his chem scheme fit to that first line. And then again, we'll try with Giroux, but he's so old that it's probably unlikely. He does actually have convincing, so let's see here. But no, he does not want to. So first line, we got 1 out of 3. That's whatever. Ideally, as we go through, obviously, if guys stick around, we'll be able to keep them. And that did actually bring us to a +5 with Tim moving to that line fit, so that's awesome. So Norris, no. Perron, no. And Batherson, no. So let's try with all these guys again. Batherson and Norris, hopefully young enough that they're still convincing. Batherson will go. That's great. And Josh Norris. Convincing. No for him. And finally, Perron. 50-50. And it doesn't fall our way. So again, 1 out of 3 on the second line. Let's move to the third. Probably all of them will not be on Travis Green's wavelength either. But these guys are young, so hopefully they'll all be convincing. Greg, Pinto, and Mario, none of them like the scheme that we're running. Convincing for Pinto. He will change. Great. Slowly bringing that head coaching fit up for all the lines, which again will only improve the team, which we definitely need. Greg is convincing as well. He will want to switch, so a tiny bit more. So that third line should be pretty decent chemistry-wise, even if we don't get Amadio to go. Again, he's a guy that would definitely get moved, at least down in the lineup. We'd like to bring in a proper third line winger, but for now he will be okay there. That third line's doing fine. Well, not fine, but nobody really is on this team right now, so it is what it is. But the third line up to +3, so that's great. And then these guys on the fourth line, Ostapchuk, Gregor, and McEwen, the same deal there. Gregor. Nope. McEwen. He will go, so that's probably a +1 there on the fourth line. And Ostapchuk. No. Okay, so forwards done. We got who we could. We'll check back in next month or the month after and see if we can change any of them at that point. But it's definitely looking better. +5 on the first line, +3 on the third line, and then +1s on the second and fourth line. Defense is pretty brutal chem-wise. I don't think any of these guys actually have any green anywhere, so we'll try and get all of them to swap. Starting with our guy, Jake Sanderson, who has been bad this year so far. Hopefully, if he wants to go, which he will, excellent. That'll get him going a little bit. We won't be able to get Chabot because he is a top 2 defenseman, I think, on that second pair. But let's see if he even wants to go. Oh, he will. I guess, yeah, 86 would be classified as a top 4. So that's great. We got both of them on the same page as our coach. And then Zub. He will want to go as well. He's playing on the first line right now, so we'll get him over there with Sanderson. So that should be probably just a +3 because none of them have any X factors. But we'll see if JBD will want to swap here, and if that's the case, then we should get no, doesn't matter anyway. Chabot has those X factors, so that would give them a bit of a boost. Lastly, let's try Nick Jensen, and then we will continue. Yeah, perfect. So third line there, and yeah, that all line fit has gone up quite a bit, so that should give us a little bit of a boost overall for the team. So defensively, we should be pluses everywhere now. I forgot about Clevin. Clevin. Come on, buddy. Yes, sir. There we go. Okay, so I think, let's go another month. I don't know if we want to make any trades before the deadline. We'll see if we're at where we're at. If we have, I think, a good month, then let's make a trade, probably for that third line winger. But if we continue the same or start to fall off even more, then I think we just embrace the tank and try to get a high pick. So starting off against the Ducks, we get a win. Detroit, same trade, no to that for Jensen. Detroit, we lose. Nashville loss. Islanders overtime win. Ducks again, a loss. Carolina shutout win. Penguins back-to-back win. We're really good. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's good. Okay. So Timmy Stützle out for a month. That is probably it, honestly, for our chances of coming anywhere near the playoffs. He's our best guy, obviously, so that will hurt a lot. I will swap some things around, and I will be back when we continue here. Okay, so we're back. I've filled in some guys. We brought Nick Cousins into the lineup in place of Stützle, and then we just put Josh Norris in Tim's spot on the power play, just to try and get him some extra time. So December done. What did we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 wins. So, about 500 there. We did improve a little bit. We are no longer last in the league. But I don't think we're really in a spot to make any pushes here, realistically. Power play's gone down a little bit, but still the same position in the league. And then goals against is midway too, but our penalty kill and our goals for pretty poor. Giroux is still doing well. Brady's picked it up a little bit, which is good. Josh Norris is doing decent. Batherson pretty good. Timmy was doing pretty well before his injury. And then third line, Pinto, Greg. And who else? So Chabot's doing quite well, whereas Sanderson is not. So that's interesting. Very interesting. Plus 13 versus minus 14. Bernard Docker is a plus 6 and Zub's a minus 11. Okay. That is something to note, I guess. Forsberg's actually doing really well the last couple games that he's played, and Allmark has improved a little bit as well, so the goaltending is getting better. I guess that does happen with our goals against getting slightly better, but we just have to score some more goals, which we're just not doing. But let's see if we can take it up to the end of the month here. Tim should be back for the game against the Rangers on the 21st. We'll just wait till he's fully healed. We won't rush anything. No need to re-aggravate an injury. There's 3 losses in a row there. Bounce back against Pittsburgh? No. And Josh Norris injured. That'll be about a week for him. I'm just going to replace the player there. We're not winning these games anyway, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll just go until he is fully healed. which is there. And we'll slot him back into the lineup. So we'll move Batherson back, Gregor back there, Amadio back there. And I think what we'll do, we'll move Gregor to the third line, Pinto up to the second line, Cousins to the fourth line, and then we'll get Tim back there. Yep, pretty good there. And then get him back on the power play, which he is, and the four-man, which he is. Okay. So Josh Norris back. We'll wait till he's fully healed. Let's check out the draft class, see if we have anyone scouted here. We do, these top guys. So no franchise guys, it looks like. But these guys. Okay. So realistically, I think if we get the one, this guy would be our target, definitely. That's exactly what we want, that sniper. And similar style, none is interesting. But he looks pretty good. We might not get the one, but these other guys are pretty solid. We know Roger McQueen, obviously real guy. He'll be pretty good. But yeah, interesting to note. Mohamed Sterling, that's a guy to keep an eye on, and if we get the one, he would be perfect. Okay, Norris is back, so we will slot him back in. We'll take out, who's doing what? Nick Cousins +1, Ostapchuk. Yeah, we'll take out Ostapchuk here and just run the fourth line with these guys. So Norris back in, and then who's got the best face off? 74, 75. Keep Cousins there. All right. So getting to the end of the month here. What's that? 6 losses in a row. We win against Toronto, win against Utah, last game of the month against Washington, and we win. That's fine. Best lines there. So we lose 6 in a row, and then we win 3 in a row. We are still 7th in the Atlantic. How far out are we from a playoff spot? 56. So 8 points out of a playoff spot. So not totally out of it. We are 7 points up on the Habs. Blue Jackets are terrible as well. And the Flames are also bad. So we are looking like 5th in the league, 5th last. So let's see how our stats have improved. They are coming up a tiny bit. We're not in the 30s anymore. Yeah, league-wide, the power play must be down because 15% is not great, but we're midway. Giroux has 50 points. Yeah, he's playing great, man. He wants that contract next year, and if he doesn't retire, he could be a guy that would be good to hold on to because he's a solid player, all those X factors. But we'll see what happens with him. Brady's come around a lot. Batherson doing pretty well, not really scoring, but that's okay. Tim is decent. Obviously that injury cut him back a little bit. Josh Norris, not bad. Perron, okay. And then third line guys, it's pretty good for them. Chabot, +11. And Sanderson has got 20 points now, but still a -6. As for the goalies, yeah, they're doing okay. So, again, just need to score more. And let's get up to the trade deadline. and we'll make some plans on what we want to do at that point. So yeah, we'll just go all the way up to the day before. Start with a game against Minnesota, which we win. So that's 4 wins in a row now. Nashville 5. We do lose against Tampa. And another game against Tampa. We lose both by a combined score of 12-2. That is embarrassing. Florida, we win, however, so getting some wins against these Atlantic Division rivals. Here's our 4 Nations break, and then we are back against Montreal, another division rival, which we do lose against, close one. Game against Winnipeg, we win in the shootout against them. And San Jose, a win. Washington again, shootout loss. No, if we're going to trade Norris, we want a NHL caliber player back. And Chicago, a loss. So, coming in to the trade deadline, where we sit in the division with 59 points with a record of 25, 27, and 9. We are 10 points out of a playoff spot. So, pretty unlikely. Not out of it yet, obviously, but I think we do give up on that hope for this year at least. Trade some of the guys. We don't really actually have a lot of guys expiring, but see who we can get some value for. Package them into some younger guys potentially, or some picks. But other than that, let's quickly check in at how the team stats look. Yeah, again, not scoring very much. Power play has dropped. Goals against have dropped. And the penalty kill is pretty stagnant. Giroux, another 10 points that month. So he's nearly a point per game, which is great. I wonder why he's doing so well, but a guy like Brady is not. Interesting. Yeah, so that's how we're looking here. Everyone else kind of the same amount of points in that month as previous. That second pair of defense is doing quite well. I'm pretty happy with that so far out of them. Chabot and our young guy, Jacob Bernard Docker. And then the goalies, they're fine, man. They're doing their thing. They're trying to keep us in games. We're just not scoring. So I think we see what we can do at the trade deadline if we want to make any moves. But other than that, that is the first part of Season 1 with the Ottawa Senators. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. And we will see you next time going into the trade deadline.